Welcome back to Prepper Boss on this frigid, icy, snowy morning in central Kentucky. This video is going to be vital in terms of preparation. I'd appreciate it if you'd hit that subscribe button and share this video wherever you can on all of the social media you have, because it's now getting real. Just a few miles from where we live, on Interstate 71, on the way to Cincinnati, Ohio, there was a major pileup a few days ago in minus 15-degree weather, about a minus 35 or 40 wind chill, and both lanes of the freeway, the interstate, were backed up for 8 or 10 miles for hours. Some people had been on the side of the road for 12 hours. Now, this is when it gets real, because there were hundreds and hundreds, maybe thousands of cars stopped with no place to go. Kentucky's mostly a rural state. An off-ramp to get off the freeway happens about every 5 miles. So if you're stuck halfway between, there's not much to do except wait. There were reports of people running out of gas while their cars were idling, keeping them warm. People not having food or water in their vehicles. It is each of our own responsibility to be prepared no matter what. Stay tuned to the end of the video. I'll have a list of things that I carry in my car and some tips on how to make sure you're always prepared. One of the first things is to make sure your car or vehicle is well maintained. You have to have good tires, good brakes. The fluids have to be fresh and topped off. You cannot afford to have paper-thin tires, brakes that are weak. When the weather gets bad like it was this last weekend, an Arctic freeze across most of northern United States, you're taking your life into your hands.
Emergency crews stuck as well.
In the worst affected areas, there is no emergency service available.
And it was worse further north. Buffalo, New York had 25 or 30 people die. Some in car accidents, some due to exposure. In Kentucky, 3 people on Thursday night died in car accidents after the governor wisely told everybody to stay home. I saw a tweet on Twitter where a guy pleaded with the governor to get some help out so he could get through and get to his family for Christmas. When your primary objective is to be safe. So after your car is fully maintained, and this requires having your finances in order, where you're setting money aside every month for car maintenance to have your tank at full all the time. I'm currently driving on a full tank. Whenever I go by the gas station I use, I top it off, even if it's $5 or $10. It's kind of a headache, but I might be the last guy to run out of gas compared to most people. What I did in my truck was install a aftermarket 56-gallon fuel tank. So if I need to, without pulling a trailer, I can go almost 1,000 miles between fill-ups. This is all reducing risk as we travel on the highway. So please stay tuned as we go over a list of things that are absolutely necessary to keep in your vehicle, especially if you're going to be out in inclement weather. You cannot count on the government to save your bacon. They do not have the resources to drive up and evacuate several thousand people at an accident site.
Emergency crews stuck as well.
In the worst affected areas, there is no emergency service available.
It's up to each one of us to be the responsible party. One person put a tweet up going, well, what do I do if I can't find a gas station? Actually, he said, what are you going to do, Governor, when I need gas? That is irresponsible. So stay tuned for the list. And again, please like and subscribe and share this wherever you can as I drive past a semi-truck that ran off the road and up a hill on the freeway I'm traveling on. One of the first things you need in every scenario is water. You can get them in the bottles, you can get an emergency pack of water. You don't want to be caught anywhere without water, especially when you're out in a situation like we had last week in minus 10, 15 degree weather. You want to have some food. This came in an emergency pack. It's a high calorie, high density nutrition that'll keep you alive for a few days. And maybe some tuna packs. You can also get freeze-dried food and cook it with your stove. Here's a couple of examples of an emergency kit for your car. Now, ironically, I picked these up at a local auction. Out here we have auctions all over the place, usually estate auctions. I got both of these kits for less than $10 a piece. I think one was $6 and one was $8. And I added the gloves here, but here's your battery cables, a glow stick, a flashlight, flares, road markers if you break down. Here's a little first aid kit, pre-packaged. I would suggest putting together your own first aid kit based on your needs. And here's rain poncho, emergency blanket. That'll help protect you from the cold a little bit if you get stuck like we had this week up on the 71 interstate, where people were stranded in their cars for up to 12 hours, and most of them were not prepared. This doesn't take up much room. In this one, some battery cables, some road markers, a wool blanket, a little air compressor. I don't know how well it'll work, but you can plug it into your cigarette lighter, get some air in your tires, a little tow rope, with a metal clip on the end in case you had to tow something. So keep an eye out for things like this. These were really cheap and they could come in handy. Hopefully we never have to use them, but the whole point of being prepared is to have it in case you need it. You just saw a couple of battery cables. Battery cables work fine. The only problem is you need somebody else's battery, somebody else's car, to hook the battery cables up to. This here is a standalone battery pack for a small to intermediate size vehicle. You keep this charged up, you plug this in, this goes to your positive and negative battery terminals, and you can get 1 or 2 starts out of this. We have a Toyota Highlander, I've had to use it a couple times, works beautifully. If you need a bigger one, they are available for, large trucks. If you pull a trailer, a big trailer, you're going to have a larger truck, and those are available for those too. This way you don't need somebody else for a jump with your battery cables. This one here I think ran about $50. I'm sure the bigger ones are more expensive, but it beats paying for a tow. Other essentials that you're going to need are multiple flashlights. I have several flashlights in each vehicle, but I also have headlamps. And the headlamps are placed on our headrest so that if we need it at night, we can just grab it, put it on, leaves both hands free. Some other essentials, I've got a hatchet and a sharpening stone. If you need to make a fire, you can find some wood someplace. A little saw would be nice too. Got some lubricant for anything that needs lubrication like doors and so forth. Toilet paper, you never know. Maybe you'll have to blow your nose. Extension cord, just in case. Hand warmers. This is called a personal protection kit. Gloves, mask, handy wipes. You might run across an accident where you need to put gloves on to help somebody out. Here's a little bivy sack you could crawl into, stay warm if you needed. A little propane stove to cook a dehydrated meal, boil water. Fix a flat. Put this in your tire if you get a flat to help you get to the gas station or the Goodyear dealership. Real important is I made my own little kit of various fuses. If you blow a fuse, you want to be able to get on your way until you can go someplace and find out what the problem is. One fuse can ruin your whole day. Most of the essentials that you'll need can fit into a tub like this that I got at one of the large hardware stores. But last, but certainly not least, is a first aid kit. This fits right on the back seat headrest where I can grab it real fast. And this has basic essentials to stop bleeding, Neosporin, Tylenol, that sort of thing. Got a couple pairs of scissors. What I need to add to this is a clotting mechanism like Quick Clot and a tourniquet. You never know when you're going to need it. I used to be in a profession where I drove a lot. And over an 18-year period, I drove about 750,000 miles on Los Angeles freeways. And never once did I come across a really bad accident. But after I changed professions, I witnessed 2 bad accidents in the same week and had to render a little bit of help to those until the first responders came. So you never know when this is going to be needed. It's best to have this in your vehicle now. Quick video as we embark on winter. Winter just hit us last week, the winter solstice. And we can expect more cold, blizzardy weather for the next 2 or 3 months. Don't go anywhere unless you are prepared in your vehicle. If your state's governor or local official says stay home, it's dangerous out there, change your plans and stay home. We had thousands of people stranded on the freeways here in this last blizzard and Arctic storm, and nobody was happy because the government cannot save thousands of people in weather like that. It's up to you to have what you need for every situation possible. So thanks for watching. If you found this helpful, hit the like and subscribe button, and we'll see you next time.